Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Dhirayet Shrunavatam Katha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hrudayantasto hi abhadrani vidhunoti surutsatam नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Hare Krishna. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 8, verse number 42 and 43. तत्तात गच्छ भद्रं ते यमुनायास्तटं शुचि पुण्यं मधुवनं यत्र सान्निध्यं नित्यदा हरे. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. My dear boy, I therefore wish all good fortune for you. You should go to the bank of Yamuna, where there is a virtuous forest named Madhuvana, and there be purified. Just by going there, one draws nearer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always lives there. Purport. Both Narada Muni and Suniti, the mother of Dhruva Maharaj, advised Dhruva Maharaj to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, Narada Muni is especially giving him direction how this worship of the Supreme Person can very quickly fructify. He recommends that Dhruva Maharaj to go to the bank of Yamuna, where there is the forest of name Madhuvana, and begin his meditation and worship there. Places of pilgrimage yield a special advantage for a devotee in quickly advancing his spiritual life. Lord Krishna lives everywhere, but still it is very easy to approach him in holy places of pilgrimage because these places are inhabited by great sages. Lord Sri Krishna says that he lives wherever his devotees are chanting the glories of his transcendental activities. There are many places of pilgrimage in India, and especially prominent are Badrinarayan, Dwarka, Rameshwara, and Jagannath Puri. These sacred places are called the four Dhamas. Dhama refer to the place where one can immediately contact the Supreme Lord to go to Badrinarayan. One has to pass through the Haridwar on the path of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, there are other holy places of pilgrimage such as Prayaga, Allahabad, and Mathura, and the topmost of them is Vrindavan. Unless one is very advanced in spiritual life, it is recommended that he live in such holy places and execute devotional service there. But an advanced devotee like Narada Muni, who is engaged in preaching work, can serve the Supreme Lord anywhere. Sometimes he even goes to the hellish planets. Hellish conditions do not affect Narada Muni because he is engaged in greatly responsible activity in devotional service. According to the statement of Narada Muni, Madhuvana, which is still existing in the Vrindavan area in the district of Mathura, is the most sacred place. Many saintly persons still live there and engage in the devotional service of the Lord. There are 12 forests in the area of Vrindavan, and Madhuvan is one of them. Pilgrims from all the parts of India assemble together and visit all 12 of these forests. There are 5 forests on the eastern bank of the Yamuna: Badravana, Bilvavana, Lohavana, Bandiravana, and Mahavana. On the western side of the bank, there are 7: Madhuvana, Talavana, Kumudavana, Bahulavana, Kamyavana, Khadiravana, and Vrindavana. In those 12 forests, there are different ghatas or bathing places. They are listed as follows: Avimukta Adhiruddha, Guhya Tirtha, 4 is Prayaga Tirtha, Kanakhala, 6 is Dinduka Tirtha, 7 is Surya Tirtha, 8 is Vatsa Swami, Dhruvagata, where there are many nice trees of fruits and flowers, is famous because Dhruva Maharaj meditated and underwent severe penances and austerities there in an elevated spot. 10th is Rishi Tirtha, 11th is Moksha Tirtha, 12th is Buddha Tirtha, 13th is Gokarna, 4 Krishna Ganga, 15 Vaikuntha, 16 Asikunda, 17 Chatu Samudrika Kupa, 18 Akrura Tirtha. When Krishna and Balaram were going to Mathura in the chariot driven by Akrura, all of them took bath in this ghat. 19 Yajnika Viprasthana, 20 Kubja Kupa, 21 Rangasthala, 22 Manchasthala, 23 Malaya Yuddha Sthana, 24 Dasha Shwamedha. Verse 43 Snatvanusavanam tasmin kalindyaha salile shive krutvochitani nivasannat manah kalpita sanaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation: Narada Muni instructed, "My dear boy, in the water of the Yamuna river, which is known as Kalindi, you should take 3 baths daily, because the water is very auspicious, sacred, and clear. After bathing, you should perform the necessary regulative principle for Ashtanga Yoga and then sit down on your asana sitting place in a calm and quiet position." Purport: it appears from the statement that Dhruva Maharaj had already been instructed how to practice eightfold yoga system, which is known as Ashtanga Yoga. This system is explained in our Bhagavad Gita as it is in the chapter entitled Dhyana Yoga. It is understood that in Ashtanga Yoga, one practices settling the mind and then concentrating it on the form of Lord Vishnu, as will be described in the following verses. It is clearly stated here that Ashtanga Yoga is not bodily gymnastic form of Vishnu. Before sitting on his asana, which is also described in Bhagavad Gita, one has to cleanse himself very nicely in a clear or sacred water thrice daily. The water of the Yamuna is naturally very clear and pure, and thus, if anyone bathes there 3 times, undoubtedly he will be very greatly purified externally. Narada Muni therefore instructed Dhruva Maharaj to go to the bank of Yamuna and thus become externally purified. This is the part of the gradual process of practicing mystic yoga. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I would like to seek blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas and thank you for giving me an opportunity to purify myself. Please forgive me for any shortcomings. Hare Krishna. So the verse 42. So in the translation it says, "My dear boy, I therefore wish all the good fortune for you, and you should go to the bank of Yamuna where there is a virtuous forest named Madhuvana, and there be purified. Just by going there, one draws nearer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead who always lives there." So this is the continuation of the instruction that Narada Muni is giving to Dhruva Maharaj. And Narada Muni first, he checks the determination of Dhruva Maharaj, and hearing the words from Dhruva Maharaj, he becomes really compassionate towards him and gives him causeless mercy. The spiritual master has the same potency like the Krishna, and if he wants, he can directly give all the benediction without even any hard work that is needed. Narad Muni instructed Dhruva to go to bank of Yamuna where there is a virtuous forest, Madhuvana, and be purified. Just by going there, one draws near to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because Krishna always lives there. And in Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami has stated the 5 kinds of devotional activities, namely residing in Mathura or any dhama, worshipping deities of the Lord, reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, serving a devotee, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra are so potent that a small attachment for any of these 5 items can arouse devotional ecstasy. This verse tells us the importance of Dhamma and other things. And Narada Muni, especially giving him the direction how this worship of the Supreme Person can quickly fructify when one go to Dhamma pilgrimage, he quickly advance in his spiritual life because Krishna is always there. But still, it is very easy to approach him in holy places because these places are inhabited by the great sages. And the importance of Dhamma, it is explained in this verse. And especially the prominent are Badrinarayan, Dwarka, Rameshwar, and Jagannath. These are the main 4 dhamas. Because Krishna does some activity at Badrinarayan, he does the austerity meditate. Dwarka, he rules. Rameshwar, he rests. Jagannath Puri, he eat prasadam. And the topmost is Vrindavana, and there are there are 5 forests on the east bank of Yamuna, Badravan, Bilvavan, Lohavan, Bandiravan, and Mahavan, and 7 on the western side, Madhuvana, Talavana, Kumudavana, Bahulavana, Kamyavana, Khadiravana, Vrindavana. And there are 24 ghatas. It is recommended that one should live in such holy places and execute devotional service, but advanced devotees like Narada ji, he go to even the hellish planets to preach. And our Srila Prabhupada also, he came to US to preach. You can preach wherever you are, but we should not settle permanently in the Dhamma. We have to be very careful because in Dhamma, everything multiplies 1,000 times. So we have to be very careful not to make any offenses. And it's better to preach than settling down into the Dhamma. That is the important instruction for us. In text 43, in this verse, Narada instructed Dhruva Maharaj to go to the bank of Yamuna and thus become externally purified. Narada instructed Dhruva, you should take 3 baths daily in Yamuna because the water is auspicious, sacred, and clear. Then you should perform necessary regulative principle for Ashtanga Yoga, sit down on the asana in the calm and quiet position. And in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga explains the Ashtanga Yoga. It is not a bodily gymnastic exercise, but practice to concentrate the mind on form of Vishnu. And there are 8 processes of the Ashtanga Yoga, namely Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Dasamadhi. By all these stages of practice, one must realize Lord Vishnu, who is the target of all the yoga. The entire yoga system is described here in the summary, and special stress is given to the breathing exercise for stopping the disturbing mind. But this is for Dhruva Maharaj in Sat Yoga, but we are in Kali Yuga, so this method is not possible for us. And now the mind has to be fixed directly on the lotus feet of the Krishna by chanting process. That's what we have to do. And as we are in the Kali Yuga, where meditation is not possible, but Narada instructed Dhruva to do the meditation. But we have to, we should not get confused. We have to do the chanting. That is a meditation to purify our mind. And Narad Muni also said to Dhruva to do the external cleaning. So that's why he asked him to go to the Yamuna bank and bathe 3 times. But for us, it is not possible. So external cleaning is mainly for us is regulative principle, following the regulative principle, reading scripture, and doing some austerity. Srila Prabhupada explained already that yoga means connecting to Krishna, concentrate on Krishna, concentrate your mind on Krishna by the process of chanting devotional service. Krishna is the supreme spiritual master Chaitya Guru, and this refers to the super soul, and super soul helps from within and spiritual master from without. Spiritual master is the external manifestation of Chaitya Guru. Hare Krishna, I would like to stop here.